Are you either advising members of the White House cabinet, or do you have ideas about how they might do that?
I think it's an incredible cabinet. A lot of Bitcoin believers in the cabinet, and there's a lot of good ideas circulating in the industry. The Bitcoin Policy Institute created a bunch of them. Even the cabinet members have mentioned quite a number of them.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Michael Saylor dives into corporate Bitcoin, digital asset rules, and more. Stay tuned to hear it all.
It's above my pay grade to decide what the U.S. government will do and when they will do it, but I do think there's an extraordinary opportunity for the United States. If I was advising the United States, I would say, all the capital in the world is going to flow into cyberspace, into the Bitcoin network. It's in the best interest of the United States to own as much of it as they can before everybody else in the world realizes what's happening. I think Bitcoin is a manifestation of very healthy competition. So as the U.S. expresses support in Bitcoin, we have the Pakistanis announcing a strategic Bitcoin reserve that inspires the Emiratis, it inspires the Middle Easterners to also begin to accumulate in Bitcoin. It accelerates Bitcoin adoption in Brazil. It accelerates adoption in Mexico. It accelerates the moves of corporations. Eric Adams standing up on stage and announcing his intent to issue Bit bonds for New York City, that's going to inspire Miami and inspire LA and inspire San Francisco. So it's healthy competition. There's more than enough to go around. The network is very anti-fragile. And there's a balance of power here that's created because the more actors that come into the ecosystem, the more diverse, the more distributed the protocol is, the more incorruptible it becomes, the more robust it becomes. And so that means the more trustworthy it becomes to larger economic actors who otherwise would be afraid to put all of their economic weight on the network.
Solana's native token, SOL, is aiming for a comeback to $200, but that goal still feels distant. After facing strong resistance at $158 and falling to $143, SOL lost 14% in just 1 week. Traders are cautious as interest in memecoins fades and decentralized DApp growth on the network slows. Despite that, some believe a rally is brewing if three major catalysts fall into place. One key factor is the potential approval of a SOL spot ETF by the SEC, which could bring in a wave of institutional demand. Another is the growing movement toward tokenized real-world assets, ARBITAs, where Solana's high-speed, low-cost infrastructure could shine. Lastly, shifting investor sentiment and renewed confidence are essential. Right now, bearish futures data suggests hesitation, but if network activity and long-term utility rise again, SOL could surprise the market and break through that $200 ceiling.
The best future for the crypto economy, for the crypto industry, and what the U.S. should do if they want to create a $100 trillion digital assets industry is, in law, they should define 4 new asset classes. The digital commodity, that's what Bitcoin is, an asset without an issuer. There's only going to be one king commodity. There might be half a dozen over the next decade. The digital currency, that would be a stable coin backed 1-for-1 with U.S. currency equivalents in a regulated bank, like Circle. Then the digital security, that would be a tokenized stock or bond circulating 24/7, 365 at the speed of light everywhere in the world, like digital Apple stock or tokenized, SPY. And then the final would be a digital token. A digital token would be a tokenized fan club, a tokenized ticket, a tokenized membership of some sort. And there's 40 million small businesses in this country, And if you want to issue a token, you should be able to issue a token in 4 hours. And there ought to be an issuer, and you ought to say what the token does. It ought to have some digital utility or real world utility, but it should stop short of offering security or financial utility. It shouldn't give you liquidation preferences to a going concern. It shouldn't give you guaranteed cash flows for 30 years like a bond. It ought to be Joe Rogan token or Katy Perry token. And if Katy Perry wants to offer a token that offers her VIP fans the ability to book tickets 48 hours in advance to her concert tour, they buy it. It would have utility. It wouldn't be a security. And if she didn't go on concert for the rest of her life, the token would crash. And if her concerts were great, the token would fly. And when you look at Trump coin, it's a meme coin. That means a token that has no utility. How many people can sell a token with no utility? Only a handful of people will do it, but some people can sell a meme coin. And if they talk about it, and if the Kardashians want to talk about it, or if someone, Joe Rogan, wants to sell something, maybe people will buy it. I happen to believe that there's a place for all four of those assets. I think that the role of a token is to give access to the capital markets to 40 million small businesses that are locked out of the capital markets. But I also think that tokens would allow you to create innovative new business models. And if Joe Rogan said, I'm going to sell Joe Rogan token and I'm going to give you content that only you can access if you buy the token, if it's a good product, and if he wants to monetize it like that, as long as he's not lying, cheating, or stealing his customers, he'll be fine. And then I think it's pretty clear that tokens ought to be subject to consumer protection law. If you set up an eBay account and then you sell 47,000 tickets and then don't deliver any, that's fraud. And likewise, if you commit fraud on a token, then you ought to be subject to consumer fraud, wire fraud. And I think the issuer should be liable for the damage they do civilly and criminally. But, that's no different than driving a car across the city. You don't need to wait 4 years and spend $40 million on SEC lawyers to drive your car across the city. Everybody ought to have freedom to do business.
It's officially stablecoin summer as excitement floods the crypto world. Coinbase and Circle stocks soared after a major legislative breakthrough in the U.S. on Wednesday. Coinbase CCOIN surged over 16% to $295.29, and Circle CRCL rocketed up nearly 34% to $199.59. The spark? The GENIUS Act, a new bill aiming to bring clear rules to stablecoins, just passed the Senate with a strong 68-30 vote. It's a move many see as a green light for the future of regulated crypto. The GENIUS Act, championed by Senator Bill Hagerty, is now heading for House approval, and even former President Donald Trump called for it to be signed ASAP. David Sachs, now leading AI and crypto efforts at the White House, praised the push as part of making America the crypto capital of the planet. Circle, which co-created USDC with Coinbase in 2018, is in prime position to benefit. Much of its revenue comes from interest earned on the stablecoin's reserves, and Coinbase grabs a huge share of that. With Coinbase holding equity in Circle, the stock bump makes sense. Crypto voices like Genco and Anthony Pompliano say the markets are waking up. Wall Street wants Bitcoin and crypto, Pompliano said, and if this momentum holds, stablecoins could be Wall Street's next big obsession. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.